And now for the world premiere of Tonight with Tarek with your host, Tarek Turjuman.
Hello, Miami. Good evening. Buenas noches. Welcome to the premiere of Tonight with Tarek, Villian Theater's very first late night comedy talk show. Miami behind me, our beautiful skyline, our beautiful city. I hope everyone's doing well in their quarantine. I feel like saying quarantine, which sounds like Valentine. Whatever. Anyways, we have a crazy show for you guys today. We have some special guests. Poppy J Snacks is coming in to spill some tea. We have a special report by Miss Hannah Artman. We're going to have a one-on-one with one of Villain's biggest stars, Janela Santos. See how she's been holding up during these crazy days. And of course, our very special celebrity guest, our very own stand-up director, and one of the top stand-up comics in South Florida, Mrs. Anastasia Pavlinskaya. Yes! Anna is a very dear friend. She is my stand-up mother, and she will be doing a set for us. And we're gonna have a little one-on-one and maybe a little trivia with her. Anyways, this is a premiere of a dream I've had for a long time to host a late night comedy talk show. A little bit about me. I'm an actor and improviser at the Villian Theater. I do stand-up comedy. You might have heard my podcast on Winwood Radio, Realty Talk with Tarek in the past. Um, I come from a long line of MMPs. That's moody Mediterranean people. That's what I am, an MMP, moody Mediterranean person. And I'm a double MMP because from my dad's side, I'm Palestinian, and from my mom's side, she's the daughter of Sicilian immigrants. So she always had some crazy creative ideas, you know. My dad was a very busy businessman, self-made, no bullshit, you know. He was at a Joe Pesci level of approachability. You know, Mediterranean people can be so moody, they don't even say yes or no. They say for yes and for no. That's it. So growing up was very stressful. In high school, I always wanted to go out with my friends. I'd have to go to my mom first. She'd be in the kitchen making a light meal, you know, a four-layered meat lasagna. And she'd be like, "Hi, Tarek, I don't think your father's going to be happy about you wanting to go to the beach unsupervised to drink with your friend." But mom, I Tarek, who's going? Tell me. Celeste, the one with the hippie parents? No, Tarek. No. You will smoke weed. Joe and Patty are going? No. They drink. You will drink alcohol. Mom, come on. Okay. Let me think. I know. Tell your father that you have to go because you have a science project, environmental science at the beach. Mom, I don't think my dad is going to go for that. You go. Tell him. Do I have to do it myself? Yes. If you do it yourself, he will think you're a man and he will respect you. Ugh. Respect is so annoying. So I would hope to go to my dad's bedroom. I would walk up, the door would be slightly open. You know, the news would be on. The occupation of the Palestinian people continues. Great. Like, I can't compete with the occupation, you know? So I would walk in, I'd be like, "Baba?" He'd be like, "Yes." "Baba? Mm. Can I go to the beach with my friends? It's for Dad, it's for a sign. I need to go. You cannot. But Dad, I would be like, "Oh my God, it's so unfair." And then the news in the back would be like, 55 more Palestinians have been killed. My dad would be like, "You want me to tell you what's unfair? You want me to tell you what's unfair?" So it was very crazy, you know? He would insult himself. He would be like, "In an abu," which means fuck your dad. Like he wouldn't even insult me. He would insult himself for making me. That's how bad and disgraceful I was. So that was my high school experience. That was my childhood. you know, and I spent it like devising plans and sneak outs and like contrabanding cigarettes and alcohol. Like the people of Gaza would be really proud of me, I have to say. Yeah. Anyway, speaking about the people of Gaza who were told that they would be on lockdown and experience shortages of medical supplies and food. Yeah, no shit. Just another Tuesday. We're with you, Gaza. Whatever. So, anyways, I am very moody and that makes me unreliable and I'm late everywhere and I'm crazy as you can see. I like to talk and so I became a realtor, and in Miami, that makes me a pretty decent realtor. And it's a fun job. It's kind of like comedy, smaller crowds, but bigger paychecks. You know what I mean? Um, Having a little pet peeve with realtors right now because there's a lot of realtors out there on social media who are like, oh my God, I can't show property now with coronavirus. Oh my God, I have to wash my hands after showings and meetings. Oh my God. Let me tell you something, okay? If you were a realtor in Miami and you didn't have a gallon of Purell to douse your entire body with after every showing, you nasty, okay? If you were a realtor in Miami and you were running around the city throwing open houses and showing clients around without like a full stash of extra soap, paper towels, and wipes, you stupid and you nasty, okay? And finally, if you're a realtor in Miami and you haven't been air kissing and fist bumping your clients, one, you's a loser. Two, you's a pervert. Three, you nasty. Okay? So realtors, get your shit together. Okay? We've been working from home and turning meetings into emails since like before the smartphone. Okay? So please. Now, for a few words about, yes, what everyone's talking about these days, Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. Yes, yes, Joe. Joe has revolutionized our quarantine. Joe has made it very special. I feel like Joe is responsible for the virus. Like he made it happen so that we could sit at home and get to know him. I've learned so much from Joe. I've learned number one, always believe in yourself no matter what. Okay? And like your haircut does not matter. You know, like really, it doesn't matter. All right. Number two, invest in your hobbies, especially your country music career. Like, bro, those are some bobs. Wow. Yes. And finally, for all the creepy gay guys out here in Miami, myself included, who want to attract younger, straight dudes, you know, we thought we had to be witty and classy and in shape or going to the gym and stuff. No, turns out all you need is some meth, a gun, and an exotic animal, and all that is a short trip to Homestead away. All right. I mean, if the kid will settle for an iguana or a rooster, I can just go downstairs. So, Joe Exotic, thank you. And I want to say that to me, Joe Exotic, you are the queer of the year. There is not an LGBTQIA member that represents the year 2020 more than yourself. All right. Guys, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to sip some tea with Miss Poppy J.
Tonight with Tarek will be right back. Surprise! Tonight with Tarek is right back. And now, we're back with Tonight with Tarek.
Hello, my. We are back. We're with my very good friend, Poppy J. Poppy J, say good night.
Hello, good evening. Evening. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, darling. Cheers, darling. We shall sip tea together.
Mm.
Tea.
How are you today, girl?
You're looking cute. That's your look. I like your look. Show us your tea party in the back.
You see all my friends in the back.
Love
We're
it.
all 6 feet apart. I promise you. I promise you.
So let's talk. Let's talk. Tell me, how's your quarantine going?
It's going okay. You know, I have to turn down men for the sake of, for the sake of the human race. You know.
Yeah, for the sake of the human race. That is so generous of you, Papi.
I know. I was listening to Dua Lipa's new album, although she released her album because there were leaks.
Oh, isn't that like the new thing? Like you have to have a leak in order to release an album.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess you're right.
Didn't Gaga just have a leak? That's why she released.
She postponed her album because of the virus, which I don't understand. Like, what does that even have to do with an album coming out? I don't know.
I mean,
I'm sure we need to investigate.
She should have released it now. Maybe someone would be so bored they listen to it. What else?
I don't know. You think our president says we should be done with this virus by Easter? Do you think we'll be ready? Are you ready to be back in society?
I'm not ready for Easter in general. You know, it's my 33rd year of life, so maybe I'll be crucified at Easter.
Ooh, maybe you'll finally get your big break.
Yeah. I'm too fat for that look, though. Like, that look is all about abs, no?
You think so? They'll hold you up.
Whatever, girl. It's going to be a virtual crucifixion, according to me, anyway. Okay.
That's true. You can fake it.
Oh my God. You know what I saw the other day? I saw someone posting that they're going to have a virtual gender reveal.
A virtual gender reveal?
I mean, gender reveals were pathetic before this anyway. Because they're kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm. They are. They're very stupid. Like a virtual one. What is she gonna have a? Is she gonna have a fucking a glitter bomb? The webcam.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't understand.
Right. Have a web glitter bomb.
You should. Can you invite me so I can just troll on the comments? Is she like streaming it on like YouTube or something?
What?
Is she streaming it on YouTube? The shower? Where is she streaming it
on? Yeah. Let me see. I think it's one of these new things, like party music.
I don't know. I don't even know what.
But I mean, who the fuck cares about the gender anyway? They're gonna change that shit in like 11 years anyway.
You know what I mean? I couldn't have said it better myself.
Like, that's not the reveal we want. Like, we want the reveal of the good job and the big bag.
What? Yes. When they're old enough, they need to have that reveal. That's the reveal that I really care about.
Oh my God.
That's very true.
So you're a bear in the gay community, right? You're Mr.
Means I could barely keep up a diet.
Yeah.
Yes, darling, yeah.
So you're used to this hibernating shit.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's my yearly day, my yearly
event. It's not to shine, girl.
I try.
Any hibernation tips?
Don't smoke your weed so fast.
Oh, that's probably the best rule.
Period. That's probably the best. That's probably the best tea that I'll give you all night.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, girl, any closing words?
Stop getting fucked. Stop seeing people. Stay your ass home and just keep sipping tea.
Oh, sip your tea, girl. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you,
Mwah.
Coffee J. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to have a very special report from Hannah Arkin.
Ooh, love her.
Tarek Tonight will be right back. And we're back with Tonight with Tarek.
Hello, we are back, Miami. This is Tonight with Tarek, and I'm your host, Tarek. This is my beautiful view of the Miami skyline, Miami Tower in the back. I was afraid it was not going to turn on tonight. It wasn't on a few minutes ago. Thank you for turning it on, just for us here at Villian. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get educational. You might want to take notes, and if there's children in the room, you want them to take really good notes, because they might learn something. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Hannah Arkin.
Thank you so much, Tarek. I think I jumped the gun there a bit. But yes, as you all know, I have been in the field for a few months here at Slut School, collecting information and reporting for Tarek Tonight. So again, if there are children in the room, everyone take out your pens and pads, including them, because we need to cover a lot of ground right now. I'll be your teacher, Dr. Artman. And if you're anything like me, you might have been called a slut, maybe your entire adult life. And that's okay. That's totally fine. You're in the right place. Now, if you're a little bit unsure, if you're like, I don't know, I think slut's kind of a bad word, no need to fear, all right? Because if you are on the fence, you are still absolutely in the right place because you were in slut school, okay? And there's nothing bad about being a slut. No matter how much we've gained in terms of equality, we still live in a man's world. So if I have to adopt the standards of a man, so be it. Here today and over the course of the next several weeks, Slut School is going to supply you with the tools to succeed in a casual sex environment. A little bit about me. My expertise and experience comes from years of casual dating, infidelity, and those 2 years that I worked in the strip club. So needless to say, I am working off a very large sample size and have made calculations, very, very accurate calculations based off of years and years of good and bad dick. Okay, so back to our discussion here. So first lesson, we're just going to call it the rule of 2-4. It's not catchy, so you just got to remember it. All right, the rule of 2-4 indicates the range of how many times you sleep with a man or woman before making a determination whether or not it's good dick or pussy, okay? It sounds a little obvious, but 2 is the minimum because even if you are 150% sure on the first fuck that this guy's not for you, we are sluts, not assholes, so you still give them the benefit of the doubt. And then we raise it up to 4 because, that's just a mulligan, right? Even if you know by 3, by 2, by 1, he's a total not for you, we're going to give you one more just for the ride before you let him free into the wild. Which brings me to my next lesson. What is casual sex, right? Well, some of you think you're smart. You think you understand, like, oh, I know casual sex. I use friend zone and fuck zone. Like, I know what's going on. But let's take a second to review, shall we? The area on the left here is what we're going to talk about as the friend zone, and the area on the right is what we're going to refer to as the fuck zone. This area in the middle is what we call the marriage zone, because if we're friends and we're fucking, let's go ahead and seal the deal because I'm not getting any younger. But there are some very important caveats to this diagram. So for example, we as women tend to tighten our circles a bit. We allow for a larger pool of potential mates, which is okay as long as we understand the risk. Because, for example, someone can absolutely go from the friend zone to the fuck zone, but by no means can anyone ever go from the fuck zone to the friend zone. It's just not allowed. Same thing goes with the marriage zone. Once you come from the marriage zone, you can't go to the friend or fuck, you're out. Once you're in, you're out. It just doesn't fucking happen, okay? this is my biggest problem with slut school cadets. They think they understand and they end up getting played, all right? Because the man's friend fuck zone is quite different. See, in a man's friend fuck zone, the marriage pools tends to be significantly smaller, as these are much more drawn apart, okay? And, if we're being honest, the fuck zone's actually a lot bigger. And if you're in Miami, the friend zone's like a lot smaller. Because let's be honest, if you're not fucking a man or making him money, he really wants anything to do with you. Okay. And this is a cal zone. We talked about a lot of zones: friend zone, fuck zone, marriage zone, cal zone. So for our last lesson tonight, speaking about size, because I like a big cal zone. I don't know about you. No one wants a fucking small cal zone. I want to address another common misconception in the casual dating world. And that is that size matters, okay? Not quite. Attitude and performance are also very, very indicative of a solid partner, all right? So, well, it's not a solid partner, but at least what we would qualify as good dick. So, but since size queens seem to be prevalent these days, I just want to give you a few tips on how you might assess the size of a penis. So everyone, we hear the hand size, dick size, but there's actually a lot more. Physique and attitude. We'll get to attitude in a second, or personality rather, but let's address physique. So here we have a chart. We've got the different body types on here: lean, tall, short, fat, athletic, right? So, and then we've got 3 different hand types. So it gets a little complicated. It gets very we're working in 3-dimensional terms here. So let's take our first example. We've got a baby hand on a tall, athletic man. Okay, well, if you look here, the area around the X and Y axis is the most easy to identify. And that's the areas in green are what we're going to call the BDE, otherwise known as the big dick energy zone. And the areas in yellow are the SDE, otherwise known as the small dick energy zone. You'll see again around the quadrant, it's pretty predictable in terms of inverse isosceles triangles, right triangles around that quadrant. And then as you approach the slope, the inverse occurs. So someone with a very small hand, tall, athletic, in the yellow zone, because he is likely compensating for something else. Similarly, someone short, fat, small hands, probably can't see much down there, okay? Now, let's get into the interesting stuff. We've got a tall, athletic man with long, slender hands. Oh, did you see the knobs on those knuckles? I sure did. Yeah, that's right. You better put your money on that guy tonight, because, yeah, he's packing. And then we've got, what about a robust one? We've got robust hands on a short, athletic guy. Yeah, that guy is usually, he's low key. He likes to just do his thing. Take him home as well. But then we get into a bit of a conundrum, because we've got 2 tall, fat guys with long, slender hands and one with robust hands. And it's like, I'm not really sure. I feel like they're on the cusp. I'd like to be on the cusp. Who do I go with? How the fuck do I know? Well, one of these guys is an asshole and one of these guys is nice. I don't need to be the first one to tell you. You don't even have to look in your notebooks, okay? We all know that the nice guy has the smaller penis and the asshole is the one who's packing it. But like I said, this is just one of the myriad factors in determining a solid partner and or good dick, because it's not all about size. It is about performance and attitude. This will all be on the quiz next week. Tarek, I welcome any questions you might have. Sorry, these are also, I just had some text messages up that I prepared to share at the time.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Hannah. So informative. A few questions.
Sure.
Is there any way of measuring, leveling circumcised, uncircumcised? Do you think that guys carry that energy as well?
I don't think you can. They're not like personality physique factors that predict. There's no predictability models for circumcision. I'll tell you that. Unless, of course, you're talking about where you were born, because I feel like it's more of an American thing and more of like a developed world. Yeah. It depends on where you're from.
What about, like, on your graph? What about if you have the short guy, small hand, and he's an asshole as well?
Short guy, small hands, and is an asshole. But see, sometimes there's outliers. Like sometimes there's guys that just throw it in there. They're like, and here's a mushroom tattoo, you know? And also, did I ever tell you about the guy who got a dick implant? Like, my model can only be so predictive. Like, it's a guide. It's not a fucking testament.
Well, it's something, in this world of dick, which we have to,
Which we
embark on.
occupy and dominate.
Yes. Well, anyways, thank you, Hannah Armin. That report was riveting.
I fucking hope so.
I hope to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to need a break after that, but we'll be back very soon, and we're going to have a one-on-one with one of my favorite people, Janelle. We are back, Miami. How you doing? We have a very special treat with you. We're gonna have a little one-on-one with one of Villian's biggest stars, Miss Janelle Santos. Janelle.
Oh my God! I never. Wow! Amazing studio. Wow, Tarek. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I know you're busy. You're super famous. You run Villian. Now you're no. Now I know that in these times of quarantine, everyone's been thinking about the M word, that thing we can do alone. No, not meditation.
Ooh, masturbation.
Oh.
I know. I feel like I've been working on this quarantine my whole life, honestly. This has been a breeze, okay? Having a Hispanic mother and being a chronic masturbator, like perfection, honestly. Couldn't have been better.
Oh my
I kind of like,
I'm a
yeah.
Leo
Sorry, go ahead.
asshole. No, sorry. I'm a Leo asshole, so I prefer masturbation to any kind of physical contact anyway.
Completely same.com. Like, I can't stand anybody. The thought of anybody else, like, bleh, bringing someone to my apartment, never.
Especially
How
now.
stupid. Like, there's a lot of desperate people out there looking to take advantage. But yeah, it feels like I'm in high school again, honestly, and I just go to work and I go home and that's it. It's been pretty easy.
So it's on the porn, right? Like, what's the porn?
I like to keep it classic. I'll go for any pairing. I think that I am way more open to any form of pornography, like, and not people. Just people suck. But people in made up scenarios where they're getting off, I love them. I love people. Um, I started masturbating when I was like 11 years old. How old were you?
Oh well. Oh my
Are you
god. I was
shy?
no. Oh my god. I was probably I can't even remember, probably like 12.
I was 11. I beat you.
Oh my god.
I was like face down on my bed, like, what? 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 This sensation? And then years later, I'm like, oh, I have a problem. No, no, no. But I
Ever
remember like
noticed
when I was in middle
movies?
school, there was this TV channel called Fuse TV, and it wasn't like regulated at all or anything like that. So they would show like strippers and like intense twerking where like the hole is almost visible, and so you get really, really confused because when you grow up and you're a really sheltered girl and you don't have much experience, like you might not be gay, but you definitely don't want to see a dick. Like I didn't want to see a penis at all. It was a like horrible alien thing. Like no, don't show that to me.
I
Um,
was terrified of seeing the penis too, but I was more terrified that I wouldn't be able to control myself around it.
But did you have the experience of like, okay, I respect vaginas, but I don't want to see them? Were you ever scared of vaginas, or are you still currently scared?
Still terrified. Still.
You bitch. Okay, fine, whatever. You'll get
I
over it
know.
one day. You just haven't found the right girl.
Yeah.
But I did find out that you dated girls the other day, and I was super fucking pissed. Okay,
I did date girls,
there
but it
was
was because I dated a few girls in high school. But my little sister was on to me. She wasn't buying it, and she was always like, "Come out of the closet," and I'll be like, "No, I'm super into my girlfriend's titties."
yeah, for sure. What kind
My
of girls did you date,
family was
Tarek?
like the Spice Girls and like Madonna.
Okay,
So
but what
many.
kind of girls did you date? Like, what did they look like? Were they blonde, brunette?
No, one was like hot, big titties, Latina,
Okay,
brunette.
okay,
The
okay.
other
Now
one
I
was
feel less
yeah,
warm.
super cute, Korean, cute haircut. She was smart. She did my homework, played the violin. She did. Not to be stereotypical, but she was super smart. Shout out to her,
She
Sue.
did your homework?
Yeah, she did. I graduated high school because of Sue.
Wow. You
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah, really
Wow.
talking to her.
Well, I had like one very serious boyfriend, and he was very seriously gay as well. So I feel for these
Really?
bitches. It happens.
It totally does.
It's just something that happens one day. One day you wake up and you're like, shit, this dude likes dick. I
Yeah.
guess I gotta move on. But the moving on part takes like 4 years. So that sucks. But whatever. I remember thinking like, oh my God, am I a lesbian? Am I gay? Like, why do I like this? But it turns out that like I just wanted to be that girl, like almost Sean
Yeah.
Hole. So that's a complicated thing to discover at
We're
11 years old.
all want to be that girl, okay?
We're all trying to be the girl who's the center of attention. You know what I mean? The center of that circle. Um, one time though, what were you saying?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, one time though, I went to Savannah and it was like a family trip, and like I didn't have anything to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna complain. I'm just gonna masturbate the whole trip, because I'm a good Christian girl. So I go and I'm ripping and dipping and playing the keyboard on myself for like 2 weeks. And I was like, I'll just scrub my internet history, like it's totally fine. Who cares? Like, I grew up on the Matrix. I know how to work the internet, okay? Like, HTML, MySpace, hello. Masterful. And so I was like, scrubby, scrubby, scrub, blah, blah, blah. Goodbye. All the searches for like plowing ass and outside grass fuck and big ass turkeys, all that shit. Bye, down the drain, into the
The need for
ether.
everything when you're young. It's like, oh
No, I
my
was trying a little
god.
bit of everything. I had to get my little amuse bouche porn on. You know what I mean? I was discovering myself. But whatever. Then I discovered that all of that was recorded on the internet card that I was using to access the internet. And then I discovered that that card belonged to my mother's law firm. So then they discovered that I was a huge fucking pervert when AT&T discovered that there was $5,000 that they needed to collect for that bill for that period of time. So I've never told
Wow.
that story to my mom.
Expensive habits, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think we disputed the claim or something like that. I was like, Mom, it was leeching. Somebody leached onto our internet. Obviously, you don't know what that is because you were not raised on the internet like I was. But, Mom, it wasn't me. Like, what? I would never do that.
Oh my God, that's happened to me. Like I remember like going on a business trip with my dad when I was like 13 or 14, and playing the porn movie at the hotel. And then the next morning when we were checking out, he's like, "Sir, you just have to pay your bill." And my dad's like looking at it like with a loop.
Right.
They're like, "What's this? Some pornographic film?" And I was like, "Oh my God, Dad, it was a mistake. I didn't see it. Blah blah blah." Like I remember my dad getting it removed from the
Oh
bill.
my God.
I felt so bad because I couldn't come out and be like, "Yes, yes, it was me."
That is amazing. And now they're just handing out like free Pornhub subscriptions. Like, do you know how mad 15-year-old Janellis is? She's mad. She's pissed. She's gonna do something about it in the privacy of her own room. She's mad.
Bro, I used to have to download fucking porn on LimeWire.
Oh my God. I
Dave,
broke at least 4 different PCs with all the porn that I put on that shit. I mean, these computers were not made for our vices, but that's what they
that
get
happened.
used for.
Yeah. Well, anyways, darling, lovely conversation.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely enjoyed this. Thank you so much, Tarek. You're the king of
For
late
being
night.
on. Thank you for everything, and I hope you are back on our show one day very
I will.
soon.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
guys.
much.
Yes. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're a very, very special guest and headliner, Miss Anastasia Pavlinskaya will be with us. So juke up.
Tonight with Tarek is back with your host, Tarek Turjuman.
Hello, my Miami people, Miami y las beaches. How you doing? We are back. This is Tonight with Tarek. I'm your host, Tarek. And the time has come to introduce my stand-up mother and one of South Florida's top stand-up comedians. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to my virtual stage, Miss Anastasia Pavlinskaya.
Привет! Очень так приятно быть с тобой, Тарик. All right, guys, don't worry. All of you at home on your computers, I'm not going to ask you for your Bitcoins, but I do sometimes have to make sure that people understand that I am a young Russian-American immigrant. And as Tarek said, my name is Anastasia. And when I moved, I actually did move to the United States from Russia. I moved here when I was 3 years old, and I moved to a little town called Palm Coast, which is by St. Augustine. So we were like, there was nothing around Palm Coast. So we're like, oh, let's look at Castillo de San Marco and all of these things that are like whatever in St. Augustine, which is just a dumb city kind of, but whatever. Sorry if you're from there, people. But I moved there and I was looking around and they have this area called Anastasia Island, which made me think like, okay, this isn't a dumb city. And I'm looking everywhere and it's like, I see like Anastasia Park, Anastasia Street, Anastasia Strip Club. And that's when little 3-year-old me knew I was destined for the stage. I mean, it was right there in neon shitty lights for me. But like I said, I am a young Russian American immigrant, so I consider myself to be very blessed. Because I mean, up until like a little bit ago, I mean, did you watch the news? We were the talk of the town. It was amazing. Like they were always like, Russia this, Vladdy Daddy this, like collusion this. Like it was, any publicity is good publicity. That's just point blank. I'm just gonna say it. But also like, you know, things have been going well other than the fact that I'm, you know, kind of popular on CNN. But things have been going well because like I've been dating my boyfriend for about a year and a half now, which is great. And right before all of this coronavirus thing, people kept telling me, they're like, so are you going to move in with him? Are you going to move in with him? And I'm like, no, screw that. I'm an independent woman. Yeah. I would much rather assert my independence by living with my parents. Yeah, I am currently quarantined with my parents, and it's it's funny because like our relationship has gotten a lot better because when I was younger, they were super strict with me, and being at home, like stuck at home, really reminds me of that time because I remember asking them just to do little things. Like I'm like, "Mom, can I play soccer?" And she's just like, "No, Anastasia, you cannot play football. If you play football, you'll break your legs, you'll have crooked legs, and no man will ever want to marry you." I was 7 years old, okay? I got a little bit older. I asked my dad if I could get braces. He's like, no, Anastasia, you cannot get those things in your mouth. We used to beat up kids with braces back in the homeland. I will not have that for my daughter. I will not. Yeah, my dad is the guy from the movie The Room. Yeah. Hi, Mark. But I got a little bit older and I started to think about it and I was like, okay, straight legs, crooked teeth, still no husband. Like something's fishy here. And I started digging and that's when I found out we had just been broke as hell that entire time. Yeah. It's okay. Like things are better. We really lived the American dream. And because, you know, for a while, for my own American dream, I was trying to become an Instagram influencer so I could get free Invisalign. And that didn't work out. So now I'm paying for that shit by myself. I'm broke as hell and I'm not even wearing them. Like, way too many commitments. I can't wear those things. It's like you have to take them out, you put them in, you brush your teeth. Like it's just too much work. Like, I don't know. My parents worked really hard for me to work that hard now, okay? But clearly because I can't even do my own aligners, I don't think like I'm ready for kids at all. And I was thinking though, like a lot of babies are going to be born out of this time. I mean, this is just everyone's shut in, like they're gonna do their thing. I just saw actually right before I went on that there's a national condom shortage. Like this is real shit, people. And it's funny because people tend to like name their kids topical things. Like, you know, a lot of people name their kids Archie after the royal family. Some people even name their kids Cardi B. COVID-19. I mean, it's not the worst name for a child. It might be weird. I know people are out there, like people are dying, but like, listen, like, okay, babies, like COVID-19, their smiles are infectious. And just like COVID-19, if I found out that I was about to have a baby, I try to get rid of it immediately. That's just the fact of the matter. Also, I mean, I've been spending a lot of time on the internet during this time. Like I said, I literally am just like reading every headline and it's all a lot of late night browsing. I don't know if it's just me, but like I've been super stressed. I've been staying up to like 3 a.m. and just finding all this shit that I want to share, but like I can't share shit at 3 a.m. because I don't want Susan from sales to know that I'm up at 3 a.m. like looking at like useless, unsuccessful, and or unpopular memes. Like it's just too much. So I started saving on Facebook and then just never checking that shit. I don't know. I really, like, the other day, like, I went to my saved and I'm like, does anyone check their saved on Facebook? Or is it just like the straight man's Pinterest? I mean, like, it's like, ooh, a Joe Rogan commentary. Oh, I'll save that for later. Like, who's checking that shit? I don't know. It's weird. But this whole thing really does make me feel like I am 13 years old. Like, I said it because I am, like, I can't leave my house, first of all. Like, I'm not allowed. So, I mean, that definitely is 13-year-old energy, big teen energy. But also, like, most of my interactions with my boyfriend are on Animal Crossing. Like, spot the difference. I don't see it. But things are better to, like, just be going through this as an older person, or whatever, older, like I'm 25, because I don't know, I just think, like, I'm wiser. I understand a lot more about things. Like, all the time I think about how unrealistic the things that were in my life when I was younger that were presented to me. Like dollhouses, for example. I mean, I know I'm talking about my teens, but like I played with Barbies till I was like 11. Like they started having sex, and then I was like, okay, like we're done here. Like this is where it stops. But maybe other people kept going. I don't know. Like that's whatever, not my journey. But like I had these cool ass dollhouses with all this, just these cool mansions, and it's like they're just so unrealistic. Who do you know that has like a mansion, a fancy car, and a stable family? Like, no. Like, definitely, if you have all that shit, like, you definitely have some credit, insurance, fraud stuff going on. I mean, I don't know. Let's just say it, because 'tis the season for white collar crime, I guess. I don't know. And plus, like, all I really wanted out of those dollhouse days was a walk-in closet. Like that was my big dream. And then for like half of my early 20s, I was just worried, instead of having a walk-in closet, that my boyfriends would walk out of one. It was just, I liked a lot of art, guys. It was rough. It was good. But you know, things are better now in my life. I am in a great relationship, but I just really look at like how cringy my single life was. Like I was dating this one guy for a little bit, and I remember him asking me, like, before he penetrated me, like, so are you ready to get fucked? Which is like, it's cringy. Don't get me wrong. It's cringy, but it's still consent. Okay. Which is how I feel when people ask me, like, are you gonna vote for Joe Biden? Because yeah, it makes me cringe. And lately it just doesn't feel as much like consent. Are you ready to get fucked? Yeah. Something else about yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I know laughter, we're supposed to laugh about all these things, but like times are tough, okay? They are. But I look back at my family pictures. Like I've had a lot of time. I've been cooped up in my house looking at like all these old photos of my family members in Russia. And I realized like I have nothing to worry about, because these people looked a million times unhappier. Like it could be the most joyous occasion, and it would be like, da, Pavel, I will marry you. Let's take photo to celebrate the happiest moment of our lives. Fast forward a little bit. Ah, baby's born. I've been in labor for 72 hours. We've been trying for 9 years. Let's take photos to celebrate the beginning of our family. Zoom into the placenta-covered baby. And then, unfortunately, you know, my great grandma, she did have to pass away. And I was looking at photos from her wake, and she was just like, maybe I won't be born in Russia in next life. Yeah, it is tough. I do tell you about my family history because, like I said, I know I don't sound Russian. I always have to tell people, like, yes, I am Russian. I sound a lot more like Lizzie McGuire. Probably because that's where I learned the majority of my English from. I'd be like in front of the TV watching that movie, and I'd be like, hey now, this is what the American dream is made of. Yeah, those are the words, okay? In my memory, at least. And like also Lizzie McGuire, another one of those things that really, like, looking back, disappoints me as an example for young girls, because like I tried to go to Europe before, you know, quarantines and stuff. Like I tried to go to Italy. I mean, I did it. I tried to meet myself a Paolo and go on a Vespa. And I almost got human trafficked. And this is not a joke about human trafficking. Like, this is just to bring awareness to the fact that even if you haven't seen the Lizzie McGuire movie, like, let me break it down for you. It's just 2 steps away from being the movie Taken. Okay, listen, young girl goes to Europe. Young girl goes to Europe, meets a handsome man, Parents go to Europe to save her. Parents go to Europe to save her. The only difference is that Taken actually made it to 3 movies, whereas the Lizzie McGuire reboot can't even get past the 2nd episode because the showrunner quit, and now my Disney Plus subscription is worthless. Yeah, it's tough in these times. That was the first thing that hit me. It was like that, then Kobe, then COVID. Like, it's been a tough 2020. But other than right now, when you're seeing me like in the screen doing stand-up, I'm also an improviser with Villian Theater. And shout out to them for this amazing show and this feed. Shout out to Tarek and all of the people who have been up, because like I really am just so blessed to be around these people. I came to Villian, I wanted to start doing improv because I wanted to become a better actress. And my coach kept telling me, like when I started, he was like, you just need to stop playing these Lizzie McGuire characters. You need to get out of your box, challenge yourself. You should play a man. Play a man. You should play a man. So I downloaded Tinder, scheduled a bunch of dates, and didn't show up on any of them, and I'm still not a better actress. Thank you. That's my time. Bring it back, your host. So excited to have you. Thank you again. My name's Anastasia Palinskaya at Anna the Russian on Instagram.
Yay! Anna, that was amazing. Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Our very own little Russian.
You know, it's funny that you say that. I talk about being like a little thotty and 13, and my old screen name used to be Little Russian Flirt on RuneScape. So that's why I would always talk to my boyfriend through video games. So same difference.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I wanted to play some Russian trivia with you.
Okay. I hope I can do this.
It's about Vladdy Daddy.
Okay.
We have to, right?
Yeah, we have to.
Do we have to? He's just hilarious.
We have to. I'm ready for it.
There we go. I was wondering where you're. Amazing.
This is Vladdy Daddy. He's not been so daddy lately. He's been kind of a mess. And some sort of dinosaur and like a shark. I don't know. Whatever. The internet's crazy.
So trivia question number 1 about Vladdy Daddy. What was his job prior to him getting into politics?
Ooh. He was in the KGB for like a really long time. Yeah, that he was always behind the scenes.
Which is pretty like predictable just because of his demeanor and stuff.
Yeah, just like.
Okay, he's famous for his dogs. He's got like crazy dog game. He has 5 beautiful dogs. Name 2 of them.
I don't know. I actually don't know any of his dogs. I didn't know he had dogs. I just like, like he just always looks so pissed. I'm like, is cold word a term for resting bitch face? Like, I didn't know he loved. So wow, you got me on that one.
Bro, his favorite is called Pasha.
Oh, okay. Cute.
No.
Sabachka.
Okay, we're switching trivia. We're doing Lizzie McGuire now.
Oh, damn, I don't have a background ready. It's okay. Go.
Not Lizzie McGuire on a dragon? God. Okay. Let's start with something easy.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know. This is easy. Maybe for you.
I don't know.
Okay. What is Lanny? Do you know who Lanny is?
Like
Her
Lily.
character.
Like her character Miranda? Lonnie? No.
Who's the character Lonnie?
Is that the mom? Who's
All right.
Lonnie? I don't know who that is. I don't remember them.
Oh my God.
Guess I'm not as much of a fan. Shit, I better go rewatch some episodes.
You're Lizzie McGuire. Although, you know.
I'm a fake.
Great part of your. Okay, let's do one here. Who is Lizzie's brother?
Matt.
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
yeah, I know. He's like the OG vlogger. He was vlogging her falling down at her graduation. That's the whole catapult for that movie.
God. Well, yeah. I think it's hilarious how you talk about being an immigrant and having immigrant parents, because they always paint a picture of like the motherland that is like to their benefit of what they want you to do. Like
Yeah.
they keep telling you you can't play soccer, do things because it's just different back home.
Yeah, like they always were just like, like they'd be like, oh, in Russia, you not being married at 25, that would be an old maid. Like that Stara Deva, that's what it's called. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, my mom would say that to my sisters, and then she used to say we'd go to Sicily and everyone's like single and like making out with their boyfriends in front of Nona. Like no one.
Yeah, like I have the internet, okay? Like I know.
Oh my God. Well, anyways, Anna, thank you for being our very special guest for our very special premiere.
Thank you so much for having me. I do want to promote one quick thing while we have everyone on the feed. Tomorrow from 4 to 6 on the Villian Theater YouTube, we will be having an open mic hosted by yours truly. And if you want to be showing us your stuff and showing us you're funny, hit me up and hit up the Villian Theater, the Villian Theater Instagram and all that shit. And we will get you signed up and see your beautiful face as well. Thank you.
Yes. Don't forget to follow Anna at Anna the Russian. Is that your Instagram?
At Anna the Russian with one N. Thank you so much, Tarek.
Thank you, Anna. What a pleasure to have you here. That's my stand-up mother. She showed me everything I know. Anyways, guys, we've come to the end of our show. And to say goodbye, I'd like to give you a shout out. I'd like to give a shout out to a very special sector of the population during this quarantine. And that's all those quarantiners that realized that they weren't going to quarantine with each other and broke up. I think that it's quite convenient that it happened, including to myself recently. I just hope you went to the groceries after the breakup, because if you did go before, you might be stuck with their weird groceries, which got me thinking, anyone want some lemon yogurt? Anyways, shout out to everyone during this quarantine dealing with all the bullshit and hanging on. And make sure to catch all our virtual shows because we'll help you get through it. YouTube.com, Villian Theater. Tomorrow we have stand-up, and we'll be back next week with more shows. Thank you everyone for watching. And follow us at Villian Theater. Follow me, Tarek, in Miami. Good night. Buenas noches.
Thank you for watching Tonight with Tarek. Please hit like and subscribe to follow all things Villian Theater.